How's everyone doing today? CJ Halleck with CJHalleck.com and digitalbag.com. And in this video, we're going to be discussing logo design. Should you do it yourself? Should you hire a designer? The costs, free, little bit of money, and high-end freelancers. What should you do? We'll cover that in a second. All right, so jumping into it, when it comes to logo design, there's a couple different things you need to keep in mind. One, do you plan on having a multicolor logo or something, with all of your brand logos? Are you planning on doing it as a flat design so it can have take on different colors depending on the design? Whole bunch of stuff you can look at when it comes to the styles of the design. But when it comes to getting logos done, you have basically two options: do it yourself or hire somebody. And when you get to the we'll turn it upside down. We'll do hiring somebody or do it yourself, and I'll cover the DIY in a second. But when it comes to hiring people for logo design, there's basically three different options. The first option is the cheapest way. Of course, you're not going to be able to get someone to do a logo design for free most of the time. Sometimes you may have a friend that's a graphic designer or something like that that'll hook you up for free, but you can start looking on Fiverr.com, and that's Fiverr.com. And of course, all the links for this stuff will be down below in the description on YouTube. And you can also, if you're watching this on the individual page, you can make sure check down in the lesson notes and you'll find this stuff there. So Fiverr is basically a website where people all over the world offer what they call gigs for things starting at $5. Logo design is just one of the things that they offer on the website, but there are still some designers that are still doing logos for $5. When you do the logo, you want to make sure you get an EPS, so you can make sure that the file, or the design files, whether it's EPS or an AI or whatever the case may be. So if you need to stretch the logo larger than it does with like a PNG, you can do that. And basically what that means is PNGs, JPEGs, like those formats of images use what's called pixels, which are dots, and then vector format gives you lines. So a line is a line no matter how long it is, but a dot, you can't stretch that same size dot any, and that's where you get the pixelation from. So you can use Fiverr. Another option would be kind of a mid-grade, would be, I believe it's 99designs.com. I think it's about $300 for the basic logo design pack that you get through them, which you do get options and things of that nature. Which is decent. I've had some clients use them that prefer it. The next thing would be finding a local freelance graphic designer. Good way to find a good local freelance designer, aside from going to Google and just doing a search, or going to Facebook and doing a search, go to social media, go to Facebook, go to Instagram, put a post up saying you need a logo. Who do you recommend? Recommendation-based designers. Normally that's how you make sure you get the really good designers that are willing to actually give you quality logo design. Because you'll see the people, oh, my brother owns a business and, he had such and such do their logo, or whatever the case may be. So moving forward, the other two ways you can do a logo, of course, if you're familiar with Photoshop or Illustrator, and also I'm going to do a separate video after this. We'll call it, I guess, part 2, that kind of will go in and I will create a logo for the Pyroplex, which is the business I'm creating for the Blitz Challenge. So you guys can watch how I do it. I am not a graphic designer. Did not go to school for it. I'm 100% self-taught. So I do it a little different than most designers do. I create it in Photoshop because I'm good in Photoshop. Good enough to be dangerous in Photoshop. But I'll take that and export it, and then I'll bring it in and vectorize it in Illustrator. It's easier for me. I know there's going to be some designers that are watching this that are probably screaming at the screen right now, and I apologize. But anyway, so we'll cover that in a second. So if you're good at that stuff, you can always do it yourself that way, or you can use, there's this awesome website called Logo Joy, and the link will be in the description below or down in the lesson notes below the video. Basically, it gives you different options and styles and different things, and you can basically create your logo on their website, and then it gives you, I think it's 3 options. The first option is just basically a low resolution JPEG. The second option, and I think that one's like $20. The next option I think is like $60 or $70 that will give you the actual design files. Well, not design files, but you'll get it in an EPS file, so then you can move forward with that. And the reason why they offer, just kind of backing up, the JPEG so cheap is, or the reason why they offer the JPEG, because most people wouldn't even use a JPEG, is it's basically something you can throw an idea together, buy the JPEG, and then hand that over to a designer and say, this is kind of the idea I want. The designer will be able to go with that and actually kind of customize it, change it, make it more unique, and have a guideline. So most of the time, if you give a designer like a rough draft, it's a lot easier to get them to create a logo that you enjoy and want to be part of your brand without having to cost an arm and a leg, because you already have a good idea of what you want. But so moving forward, the second option, like I said, you get the EPS file, and then I think the top option that they have is like $100, and that comes with I believe it's like social media images, so you can use like in your cover photos and your profile picture and a couple other things to go with it. So it's a couple different options there for you guys to use. Like I said, I personally am going to be doing all the designing myself, so be sure to check video 2. It's what I'm working on right after this video. I'm going to walk through and create. I have no idea how I'm going to create it. But I think what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you guys through how to use Logo Joy. We'll go through the steps, let you see the idea, and then I'll basically just kind of get an idea based on that, and then I'll hop into Photoshop and create the logo. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. If it's been helpful, if you enjoyed it, please be sure to click the like button. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell for notifications. Other than that, hope you guys have an amazing day. Be great. Stay boosted. We'll see you at the top. Take care.